Okay. So now we are first of all discussing the pre-seen material. This pre-seen material. अच्छा, लेकिन मैंने ये pre-seen material आपको मेल किया था क्या?
Yes, sir.
नहीं, आप लोग को किया, लेकिन सर आप झूठ बोल रहे थे। हर्ष ठक्कर मैंने आपको मेल किया है। मैं सोचा मैंने प्री सीन तो किया, उसी के साथ ये शेड्यूल है, ये SCS क्लास स्लाइड्स है, और ये है ठाकर जी हर्ष ठक्कर October 14, 9:14 PM 2 days ago when you registered I gave you this material. मैं सोचा यार मैं खराब कैसे हो सकता हूं, सॉरी। नो प्रॉब्लम, लेट्स स्टार्ट, नो टेंशन। I mean to say that कि I am not reading this material one by one line. Even in the write-up I have said that students should be reading this material 3 times. Not up till now. One time, first time when you read without thinking whether you are understanding or not. Read in 1.5 hour. You will find so many confusion, which I also find, believe me. जब मैं पहली बार रीड किया, इतना टेक्निकलिटी, माइंड खराब हो गया है। This much technicality generally they don't give in a strategy case study. This type of technicality they give in operational case study. दिया, कोई बात नहीं है। थोड़ा सा माइंड खराब हुआ कि भाई ये सब हॉट एयर एंड ऑल दैट, दीज हॉटिंग सीटिंग सिस्टम्स, इतना क्या टेक्निकलिटी लिखा हुआ है। देन द सेकेंड टाइम यू रीड स्लोली, यू टेक 4 hours टू रीड सेकेंड टाइम, बिकॉज नाउ यू नो दैट व्हाट आर द एरियाज वेयर यू डिडंट अंडरस्टूड। तो आप उसको रीड करने के टाइम पे थोड़ा टाइम लोगे। मे बी इन द सेकेंड टाइम यू आर डूइंग सम गूगल सर्च ऑल्सो, something which you are not getting, to see some video, to understand some technical meaning, dictionary, whatever we see. That means after second time, you get some better understanding, धीरे धीरे भी read किया, समझे। Last third time, this is in the 3 weeks, first week, second week, third week, or maybe first and second reading in 1 week, and the third reading maybe in the second or third week. That's upon you. When you read the third reading, by that time, some of the classes are already done, some discussion of core area done and all that. Then core area I will discuss hers, don't worry. I will discuss, maybe Sajid or somebody was saying, वो case study के साथ discuss करेंगे. I mean to say that when you read at that time, you will find very confident that I am able to understand most of the things in the pre-seen material. That is not that you need to write anything from the pre-seen material in the answer. वो तो एक base है. You need to write your own understanding only. But maybe some figure, some financial figure you want to use and all that. So then you will be finding, अब मेरे को knowledge better है. And whatever the figures given in the pre-seen material, you try to remember. Even though in the exam hall, when you will be there in the exam hall, on a tab, when you click, you will get the pre-seen material entire exam 3 hours. But normally I feel that we don't have time in the exam to open the pre-seen material. We are very puzzled. Reading the mail, reading the reference material, requirement planning. Time ही नहीं रहता है कि we open the pre-seen material. You can open if one few seconds you have some confusion. But आप सोचेंगे कि at the time of exam you open this and you will read this and then you write तब तो हो लिया. Then तो 60 minutes not 600 minutes will be less. For that reason the pre-seen material is given 40-45 days before exam. So every student, whether you are a champion, whether you are an average student, you need to read the material 3 times. Not mugging up, but to know the scenario, to know the detail, at least in much better way. मैंने 3 बार पढ़ लिया है। अब मैं आपको उसका summary बता रहा हूं। The summary will be helpful for somebody who has already studied, who has already read the material 1 or 2 times, maybe 3 times like me, or maybe somebody like hers. Since he has not checked the mail, so obviously he has not studied, he has not read, तो उनको भी फायदा होएगा। सबको सेम पेज में ले आते हैं। First of all, before starting this material, normally in India, which country I belong to, ये चीज हम लोग के इंडिया में बहुत कम है। Somebody will say that son in Delhi, Punjab, where the cool winter season is very long and all that, huge, maybe other thing. But मैंने कैलकाटा में तो ये सब चीजें generally I have seen very less. At most what we do, suppose we have purchased a heater and then when during December, January, when the winter is very high, then at that time maybe we can use heater. And the weather is changing like that. Winter is more stringent, summer is more stringent, global warming we all understand. Maybe that this types of things will be required in Kolkata, India also. But normally as per my understanding, इतना ज़्यादा कोलकाता में है नहीं, और इंडिया में भी. We generally have a water heater in our bathroom. So during the winter time, we require hot water for operations, for bathing, for doing our activity. Maybe in kitchen, it is difficult to work during winter time. So there is a water heater installed there also. But there is nothing to make my entire floor, this floor as a heating. I am not doing this. We have one heater. Normally we are not using that. If you talk me around 25-30 years back, then for blower to the extent for winter season, yes, then you can see that I am saying 25-30 years back, there is a bucket and there is a plug-in heater which we put in the water, and it takes around 15, 20, 30 minutes. Then the bucket water is hot, and then I can bathe from that. That was there, which is still many persons are using in India, in Kolkata also during winter time. Those who don't able to install the heater in their bathroom and all that, because different kind of persons are there. But normally, if you ask me, I have not seen that my entire home should be made during the time of winter, that it is required. I cannot live, I cannot sustain that much amount of winter coolness that I need to make my walls also heat. We feel the coolness, but that much need we don't require. We close the windows and all that. We put the door close and wear more and more clothes, and we manage the 2 months that way. But then there are many countries where winter is very exorbitant and people cannot live. Like we have AC, air condition is still running. That even though we are in the month of October and November, the air condition is required. Maybe that becomes the need of the life. So we are in a country where air condition is essential, where we are making our entire room, entire furniture, everything air condition. But we generally don't require heating system. But then I thought that how I will understand this case study. Maybe I can see some videos which I have shared with all of you by looking at YouTube ki ye hota kya hai. Fir bhi I cannot become engineer. And the CIMA case study is not asking you to become engineer. But since it was technical, it was going above my head to understand. Maybe somebody is from UK, maybe somebody in our class from that place where the heating systems are required and the entire building, entire floor, entire house need to be heated, and they have better understanding because they have practically seen that. But मैंने तो देखा नहीं है भाई, ठीक है? They are talking about this company is selling heating system. That heating system is not only for hot water, that to always there, but that heating system will make your entire dwelling house so that you can live, because the temperature can be at times -5 degree, 0 degree. At that time, you will not be able to sustain if you don't have entire heating system in your home. They are engaged in that business. They are selling that system, not directly to consumers. It's a B2B business, and they are selling to, big companies, big gas company, big house builders, and there are building materials merchants. They are selling to them, so it's a B2B business. Maybe they will start selling B2C also. We will discuss, don't worry. Whether they should be going on B2C or not. Maybe, suppose somebody is doing so many research. First of all, CIMA Institute is saying that don't do so much research. Get the basics, understand the business, understand the industry, and now start doing the questions. Don't do research because we are not going to become an engineer. But still, at least basic understanding should be there so that we can write the answer. We can write the feeling in our question paper. Now, suppose in ACCA SBL exam, They are giving this type of story, but not 25 page, 12, 15 page. क्या देगा मेरे को तो नहीं मालूम है ना. तो आप एक केस स्टडी को एनालाइज करना सीख रहे हैं. You understand how you need to analyze the case study, how the questions will come, how I need to write the answer, how I need to plan the. ये relevant है कि नहीं, ये कौन बोला? आप सोचिए कि यही आपके एग्जाम में आया है, इसीलिए आप ये सब डोंट थिंक along those lines, सर इट इज नॉट रेलिवेंट फॉर मी. पूरा सिलेबस सेम है, पेपर स्ट्रक्चर सेम है, एक ही चीज है, प्री सीन है नहीं है, बस दैट्स ऑल एल्स आर सेम. सो they are selling B2B, and there are different types of heating system available in the market, but the company is not dealing in all the types of things. They are using a traditional system. One is boiler and one is heating pump. The boiler require gas, the boiler require oil, or the boiler can be running by burning the wood also. But boiler is a traditional system. In the traditional system at that time, still they are selling boiler. But in the boiler, it is not conducive to the environment. First of all, it is using huge gas and power, which is generated from fossil fuel or whatever sources. And at the same time, it is polluting the environment, creating carbon emissions, and all over the world, because we are talking already developed country. So developed country are very much concerned that they need to be environment friendly. So it is said that the boiler sale will be continuously going down because of the government pressure, government action, because of the consumer knowledge and all that. The global warming need to be reduced, and boiler sale will be continuously going down in future. It is said in the case study that by 2030, mota moti boiler will be out. Presently, for heating system, the boiler sale is around 50-55%. Whatever the means of heating systems are there, the boiler are taking the market share around 50-55%. But in coming around 7 to 8 years only, the boiler will not be sold. They will have the market share only 5% approx, or maybe less than that. That is a projection. Nobody can say that whether it will happen or not. But that is a projection, and that projection is given by practical study. Because whatever is given, that is given based on the practical study only. So company one product is boiler, gas boiler, or fuel boiler, or wood burning boiler. That is traditional, that is not good for the environment, but that is traditionally one of the best system for heating purpose. Another one system they have, heat pump, which is more environment friendly, which produces heat energy or heat in the house or for water or anything, whatever the purpose required, that produces heat by air, by like air condition. It is taking warm air from outside and it is bringing cool air inside. That's reverse. It will be taking hot air from environment inside, and from inside cool air will be taken out. By there is in the machine, in the hot pump, there is a product called refrigerant. That refrigerant will be doing this. For refrigerant, they have given a diagram and all that. ऊपर से जा रहा है अभी भी. अब मैं इंजीनियर तो हूं नहीं, and neither I am asking you become engineer. You need to understand कि refrigerant, that heat pump may be generating heat by air, maybe by earth, taking the heat from the earth, or maybe it can be like in Kolkata or every city, whatever the garbage are there, those garbage are used to generate electricity. Nowadays there is no pollution of garbage. So in the forest there are some tea leaves and all that, there are some garbages and all that. The government can take action that they will create places where those garbages and everything can be used to generate electricity, to generate heat from the heat pump. But that cannot be done standalone by anyone. That initiative need to be taken by the government. Maybe some pollutions or some adverse effect will be there by heat pump also. But then the effect on the environment because of the heat pump will be far less as compared to boiler. So they are selling both the products. Generally the proportion also more or less same. Slightly still the boiler are more. The heat pump they are selling less, but not very less. I think 45% approx. So I mean to say that they are selling both the products, and in both these products they are the first in the country to launch. They started their business in 1952 by introducing boiler for heating system. Up till 1970 there was not so much demand for heating, because at that time maybe the climate was not that much adverse. But during 1970 they got the success and there is a huge demand for boiler. In the meantime they got listed in the stock exchange in 1967, and in 1970 actually they established their business, and in 1997 they launched a heat pump. That is also they are the first in the industry in the country. They belong to a country called Norland, and the currency of the country is $. So they are selling these two products, and their financial condition in the last year, December 2021, because December 2022 is not over. So in the current year already 10-11 months are over by the time when we give exam. But the financials are given for December 2021 and December 2020. So you will see the financials. Their revenue has grown, their profit has grown. Maybe slightly the profit margin, operating profit margin percentage is lesser than last year. But their financials are good, they are growing, but they have their own challenges. What are their challenges? First of all, in the market there are other systems have developed or are already selling. One is the solar heating system. The solar heating system, that is heat pump only, or maybe not another type of machine, not heat pump. The solar panel will be generating the heat in the house through sunlight. But that can be possible only in those markets where sunlight is easily available. In Kolkata, I think most of the part of India, it is easily available generally. So we can say that in India type of country, solar panel will be much better because they will be more conducive to the environment. But the places where this company is located, Norland, and they are selling their product, that is the boiler and the heat pump, in other countries also, but those all are related to Europe. And they have not said Europe, but you can say that in the same origin, in the same area. Maybe different, but they are belonging to the same climate. So in that climate, generally, the solar panel is difficult to install, because many times the sun is not there, sky is cloudy, during night there. So the requirement of the heat energy in the house for heating water, for during the temperature, when the temperature is -5 or 0 degree, that will be insufficient. So normally the company is not dealing in that. That is solar panel, they are not dealing. At the same time, as I said, there is government initiative that the government is creating a bucket where all the garbage and from different sources that will be used for generating heat, that also is there, but they are not into that. And at the same time, the old traditional, you buy a heater, you install, you plug in the heater and you get the heating, but that cannot be used for heating for water purpose and all that. It can be used, the heater can be used. They are very old system, but they can be used for heating the room, for heating the place. And their effectiveness depends upon their capacity. The heater, different types of heaters are there. And if you want to heat your entire house, then very huge capacity heater is required. That also consumes good amount of electricity. But they are not selling heater. They are not offering the government, but that can be done by government. They are not offering the solar panel. They are offering only two things. And it is said that in coming 5 to 8 years, by 2030, the demand for heat pump, which is more environment friendly, in the area where they are located, Norway and the adjacent countries and all that, there the demand of heat pump will be very high. The proportion of heat pump which going to increase like anything. So we can see that they are in a business where they will be able to grow. Now in the heat pump, they have said that there is one thing. The heat pump can be connected with the smartphone through Wi-Fi. So you will be able to control the temperature, energy consumption and everything. And when it is connected with Wi-Fi, that detail is there. The heat pump detail is there with the company also, Hot Air. The name of the company is Hot Air. So that Hot Air will get the details how the pump is operating. Yes, I am not saying the percentages. I am just saying because अगर मैं percentage बोल भी दूंगा तो याद नहीं रहेगा. So for that reason I am just saying a summary so that we get the industry. And after the summary I will be saying the challenges, the problems, the issues. Then I will be correlating with E3, P3, F3 with core areas, and then we start doing other things. That is my objective. That I am doing. Maybe something I am forgetting because I have not written anywhere. I have read 2-3 times, made up my mind that this is the industry, this I will be able to speak in the class. That I am doing. Not line by line. Because it is very boring also. If I will start reading. Hot air is a, yaar, kya padhe? That to anyhow student has to read, na? Ki hot air is a company manufacturing heating systems, which are 2 types, and that we can read. So I am not going one by one, comma, full stop reading. Because even though if I will read, then also you all need to read. Must. But I am giving a summary so that the class will be interesting. We get the entire story covered. Okay. So what I was saying that, we are selling only 2 types of products. Maybe you can say we have 2 divisions because we are making these 2 products in 2 different factories. They have not said whether there are 2 divisions, but it looks like that they have a separate division for boiler and they have a separate division for heat pump. And then there is a head office for admin and all other purpose. So these are the 3 places, all are in the Norland. That is the country where they are established. They are the first company in the Norland to introduce both type of products, and they are very much concerned with the quality of their products, with the reliability, with the safety, with the efficiency. They are always concerned with the customer problems, customer issues, connecting with the customer and solving their issues, developing the product. They are always at the core of their innovation and research and development. What I was saying that, again I am forgetting once. I was saying that they are not making other products, but understand that whatever is the projection, whether it is 100% sure that that will happen, maybe in our market also some development happened and there are already competitors. In our Norland also there is a big competitor and who is selling these 2 products only at a cheaper price. They are able to generate more revenue than us. But they have not been grown last year so much, but their financials are better than us. Their turnover as compared to assets employed are better than us. In the last year, their performance is not good, but they are giving good competition, tough competition to us. In this type of business, what I was saying about Wi-Fi, I will say that suppose I have this Wi-Fi means through my mobile phone, I am connecting my AC. I am connecting my TV. So if I am going to reach my house, say after half an hour, with my Wi-Fi, with my mobile phone, I switch on my AC and I will come in the home, then the AC will be giving me cool instantly. Similarly, in the heat pump, the company has option to connect with the Wi-Fi, with the mobile app, and with the app, the company can connect with the system on their system, in their IT system. So company that is Hot Air will be able to check whether the pump is operating efficiently or not, what need to be changed in the pump, that they can do. What I was saying that, suppose this is a laptop, computer. Now you will find in your computer, in your laptop, in your mobile phone, always it generally after 15 days, 30 days, 1 month, 2 month, it asks update. And if you do that update, the computer, laptop and everything will function better. Even in TV also, the different OTT channels, whether it's Netflix, whether it's any channel, they will ask you to update. They are upgrading their software, upgrading the things. If you upgrade, then in that case, it will be, you don't have to do anything. You just need to say yes, yes, then operate. Similarly, the company's heat pumps, wherever they are installed, they are connected with the company IT system. And the company can capture the data, whether it is efficient or not. Is there any upgradation in the software required? So the company do the upgradation, and through the mobile phone, I will do upgradation in my system. Then my heat pump will be operating better. That means they have that type of IT system also to upgrade the hot pumps very well. We can say that their hot pumps or the boiler, both the things are having very good quality. They have received award from government in the past, and always when they know that the government is changing some laws or regulations, the company is always in advance to implement that. So always they don't have any tension if there are new laws, regulations are going to come, whether they will be able to meet or not. Because in Norland, the government has taken the initiative. By 2040, we will be making zero emission, zero carbon. Like Modi ji is saying that by 2050, we will be zero carbon country. Whether we will become or not, I am not questioning Modi ji. But then he has said in the World Forum, and we are promoting, and we are saying that by 2050, that is in further 25 years, at our golden jubilee, we will be becoming superpower. Chaliye, अच्छा सोचना चाहिए, good. But then whether it will be happening or not, and for that government will be taking so many initiatives. If the government want to do something, then they will say that generally the people, if buy boiler, they need to pay more taxes, more VAT, more GST. The company who is manufacturing boiler, they need to pay more taxes. They will be penalized. But those who will be making pump, those who will be installing pump in their houses, they will be given incentive by the government. So government will be promoting installation of pump because it is environment friendly, and government will be affecting the adversely on the boiler. That may be good also for us, hot air, or that may be bad also. Good because we are already selling hot pump, heat pump, and those heat pumps are of good quality. If government is giving incentive, subsidy, government grant, we will be getting that, and we will be able to sell our products in much better way. But then our presently still 50% sale is from boiler. And if the government will be adversely affecting that, our 50% revenue gone. Maybe it is a blessing in disguise, or what will happen, we don't know. But then we can say that it is good thing also and bad thing also. We also say that for manufacturing boiler or heat pumps, we require so many types of materials like copper, aluminium, then one more. Copper, aluminium and one more material, major material, what they require? Other than the component parts. They require copper, they require aluminium and other component parts. We know that these copper, aluminium, steel, copper, aluminium. The prices of these things, iron and steel, copper and aluminium. The prices of these things are very volatile because their prices depends upon market, demand, supply, even ecosystem factor and so many things. So the company's performance depends upon the prices of their resources, the raw material, that is steel, steel, copper and aluminium and other components. So many things they are importing from other countries. So their business depends upon foreign exchange movement also. And they are exporting to many countries. Even export sale is also very good. Out of the total sale, it is a big amount. So if the currencies adversely affect, then their business will be affected. They have said that we are having forex management, maybe hedging, futures, options, swaps, forward cover, money market. आप ये वर्ड सुनकर डर रहे होंगे, मैं डरा ही रहा हूं, आप टेंशन मत लीजिए, मैं आधे घंटे में ये सब बता दूंगा. और ACCA SBL के लिए भी और सीमा के लिए भी, दोनों से. Suppose somebody has studied AFM and scored 80+, कोई काम नहीं है उसका, यहां पर कोई कैलकुलेशन नहीं दे रहा एग्जाम में. कि you calculate futures में कितना लगेगा, option में क्या लगेगा, nothing. They are not asking you any calculation, calculate forward contract, outflow, inflow. Basic foreign exchange understanding. Basic. That basic understanding we will discuss. They have written that we have forex management, treasury department under the control of CFO, but that is not written what all actually we are doing. And what we are doing is what we can do. What are the possibilities for us to do? That we need to do. And if we know that these are the possibilities, any one of these things we are doing. There is generally in the exam, whether it's ACC, SBL, whether it's a CIMA case study, strategic case study, one question will be there on forex, on treasury. Or maybe in one question, one part, 40, 60, 60%. आएगा जरूर, हर variant में. We need to understand some portions by half an hour study. Don't worry, I am not going into that. I am discussing the pre-seen material summary. So we are saying our business is challenging on foreign exchange movements. Our business is challenging on the raw material prices because that is not controlled by us. If the raw materials are not available, production will be affected, sale will be affected. If the raw material prices goes up, this is a competitive market, competitors are already there, our business will be affected. And at the same time, if the prices of these resources changes, then in that case, maybe the customers will not be demanding heat pump because the cost of installing heat pump will be very high as compared to boiler. So normally the old houses are those who are using boiler, gas boiler, fuel boiler, they are not generally converting that into heat pump. It is generally those new houses, big builders, those who are making so many new buildings, then they are using the heat pump and they are promoting their houses that in our house you will be getting heat pump. That way they are increasing their prices and attracting the public. So we say that our business dependent on economy also. Because if there will be any recession, any problem or decrease in the disposable income or anything, then the development of the new houses, construction industry will be less and our sale will be affected. So it is an economical sensitive industry. We can say that we all need to manage our operations effectively. Operations, that is purchasing, inventory, marketing, sales, finance, treasury, cash management, and corporate governance. All these operations, IT, HR, because we have 8,500 odd staff are working. And their HR policies, recruitment, selection, motivation, training, all these are important. And because most of the process is automated. Use of robots, use of artificial intelligence, we are doing in our manufacturing process. So the persons are there for mainly quality checking, quality improvement, because in case of boiler, the problem can be that if there is any, boiler means running by gas. If there is a gas leak, there can be explosion, there can be any issue. They have not written anywhere ki anything happened in our life or not. In exam they will be giving. Maybe not with us, with our competitor, with somebody else. Even in case of heat pump also, the refrigerant is not good for the environment. The heat pump life is around 10 to 12 years. Our heat pump is running around 15 years. So we are better, more reliable heat pumps, more safety heat pumps. But then when the heat pump is out of life finish, we need to install another one. Then the old heat pump refrigerant should not be destroyed in the environment. It should be reusable. It should be converted into some other thing. Then in that case, we will be reducing global warming. So all the heat pump companies are suggesting the consumers, when they are replacing their heat pumps, they should be disposing the refrigerant in a proper way. And maybe the government rule can be there that you can't throw it, you have to use it like this. That may be the case. So the industry is very subjective. Even the hot air also, the company is also very subjective to environment, government action, foreign exchange, then IT system, because our infrastructure, our production system, automation, artificial intelligence, the data of the consumers of the heat pumps through the Wi-Fi, that means every consumer is connected with the computer, with the company's system, and if there is any hacking or any problem and the customer data is taken or used unauthorized use or anything, any problem can arise, which happens in big companies, not only small companies, big. So that IT is a very important matter. And future challenges. We are not in the solar panel. Why? Maybe in the country where we are selling, there is no requirement of solar panel as such. May not be zero. But then other countries where the solar panel is very important, we can expand. We can say that we can go into B2C market. We can think of selling directly to consumers. What is the advantage, disadvantage, evaluation of that? We can take over other companies in the solar panel so that by acquisition we can grow. We are selling only in a particular region, not only one country, maybe 3-4 countries, but then we can go into other parts of the world where the requirement is there. At the same time, our business has grown from 20 to 21 well, but the growth of heat pump is not very good. It has grown like water boiler only, heat boiler only, gas boiler only. But the heat pump also need to be grown properly, because if the heat pump is not growing the way it is projected, then we will be losing our market share and our business will be affected. There can be any ethical issue that there will be a problem with the refrigerant, with the heat, with the gas boiler, or there may be a complaint by a customer that is not resolved in time, or maybe there is some problem in the industry that is affecting our businesses. So we need to think about ethical issues also that we need to do the business. These ethics we have not studied specifically in our Monday Wednesday class, but as a general discussion when we were discussing the corporate governance in the last class, CSR, and we were discussing one is shareholder responsibility, economic stakeholder responsibility, the Carroll's CSR responsibility, that is stakeholder responsibility, then you can say legal responsibility, then you can say ethical and philanthropic. So we can say that ethical issues need to be managed by this type of organization, listed in the stock exchange, have different stakeholders. We should not be doing anything which is adversely affecting our goodwill brand and affecting our image in the market. As far as corporate governance is concerned, we have 5 executive directors and we have, I think, 3 other than one chairman, 3 non-executive directors. 5 executive directors and 3 non-executive directors. Is this a proper corporate governance? Five executive directors, but 1 is chairman. And we discussed in our classes, in the last class only, I discussed 2 times, that chairman is not considered for counting. Generally we say that it should be equal, but it is not equal. But all the directors are having good sound knowledge of the industry. All the executive directors have grown in the company at CEO, at CFO, at CEO level from base. In the company they are working for quite a good number of years and they are expert in their field. So their knowledge skills is very good. Even the non-executive directors are someone is political influence, somebody is having engineering background. That way they are good. But I think there is one problem, numbering. Now most of their non-executive directors are NED in other company also. Most, 3 out of 3, I think 2. 2 of the non-executive director are NED in our company and they are the NED in other company also. So there may be a case that in the exam they will give chain directorship. That in one company I am NED and Thomas you are ED. And in the other company you are NED and I am ED. So you are benefiting me and I am benefiting you. Not given in the case study, but the possibility comes that in the exam they will give the cross directorship case, because in the earlier exam, not many times, in the strategy case study earlier exam, in the ACC SBL exam, they have asked questions on cross directorship. The question came earlier. So for that reason, since they are the NED in other companies also, I was just thinking that maybe question can come along those lines. You will say that how we will write? We will do the question, don't worry. I am just saying possibility. Then we are saying that whenever we take any strategic decisions, takeover, mergers, organic growth, any problem we need to resolve, that is a major problem that is affecting our brand goodwill, we require resources, money, paisa. For arrangement of money, the company don't have any problem because their debt equity ratio is not very high. If we go on the book value basis, if we go on the market value basis, market value we can't calculate because the number of shares detail not given. Share price is given, but number of shares not given. So if book value basis you calculate, it is coming around 32-33%. Debt and equity total 100, then the debt is 32%. But if you calculate on market value, it will be further coming lower. And if you calculate their interest coverage ratio, it is coming around 8 to 9 times. That means there is no burden of paying interest. The debt equity ratio is within limit. So if they want to arrange funds through debt, they can. They have enough capacity, enough resources to take the debt. And since they are listed company, they have given very good return to shareholders. In last 3 years, the company share price has moved from 2022 to around 50, around 120% growth in the share price. So their shareholders are generally satisfied. So there is no problem in raising funds for any type of project if we want to do. At the same time, we have a good amount of cash in our balance sheet, around $38 million. That means that also is there. Obviously, entire cash I cannot use in the project, but then we have good amount of cash. So financially they are sound. Resource-wise, financial resources they have. If we talk of other resources, maybe human resource, it is written that their employees are very satisfied. They have the employment policy, their growth policy, their CPD, their continuous professional development, training and all that. That culture is there and employees are satisfied. So if we want to do another project or anything new, then in that case our employee resources are there. As far as our brand, goodwill, image, our R&D activity, all are very good. That means for any new thing, maybe organic, maybe inorganic, maybe taking over another organization who is under problem, we are in a very good position to do that. Obviously, what will be the new project, how much amount to be invested, because if you are a company having an asset of $600 million and you want to do a project of $5,000 million, it will be difficult to arrange. But looking at the financials, looking at their entire thing, they are looking good to do the other project, to take any strategic decisions, to take risks in the business which is calculative, because they have given good return to their shareholders. But then most of the resources which they are having are fully utilized. Most of the resources they are operating in their factories. Yes, coming. Most of their resources are fully utilized. That means if staff, they are already busy. If the funds, whatever is there, that is already invested. And if there will be demand in the industry, if the demand in the market, they need to increase their capacity. For increasing the capacity, maybe they need to open new factory. Maybe they need to take over another organization. They have to do something if they forecast, if they foresee that there will be more and more demand. Now we are saying that if the demand is there and we want to grow, there are only two ways: organic, inorganic. Organic will take time. Organic will take time. You don't have to pay premium. But by the time you will grow, by that time others will take your market. You will not be able to satisfy the demand. Because as we know, generally, not written in the case study, the global environment is changing day by day. Whether it's a summer, whether it's a rainy season, whether it's a winter, all are becoming more and more harm. Winter is more winter, summer is more summer, and rainy season is giving more and more rain. This is all because of human beings' issues only, we all understand. That means the demand for heat pump, the demand for boiler is definitely going to increase. Because people will not be able to survive in those countries where temperature reaches to 0 and minus, where the temperature is very fluctuating, where most of the part of the years, the temperature is like this. If it is, say normally less than 5 degrees, say out of 12 months, say 10 months, say 8 months, then in those countries, the heat pump, the solar panel, or the boiler or anything is required to live. Otherwise, we cannot survive. So we are unutilized capacity of discarding boiler manufacturing by 2030 can be used for making solar system. But 2030 is very late. You are standing in 2022. Maybe in 22 and only you are 23, 24, only huge demand. So you can do that gradually now. You will shift your capacity from here to there. But if the demand crop up in 23, 24 only, तो इन दैट केस धीरे धीरे करके तो जाना होएगा ना. तो या तो ऑर्गेनिक या इनऑर्गेनिक कुछ तो सोचना होएगा टू मीट द डिमांड. अदरवाइज वी विल बी लूजिंग कस्टमर्स, लूजिंग द मार्केट. And when you are not able to satisfy, because we are in B2B, and if there is a builder, you are not able to satisfy the demand of the builder will move to other supplier. So we will be losing our customers if we will not be able to fulfill their demand. So for that reason, it is very essential that we foresee the demand and we need to be ready how we will arrange our resources for meeting those demands, whether organic, inorganic. If we take over valuation of that organizations, what characteristics we will see in the other organization, what due diligence we will be doing, whether we should be taking over or not. If we do development on our own, whether we increase the capacity at our same factory or install new factory, everything we need to think. Then only we can grow. Otherwise, we will be losing our market in this competitive world. For that, we need to hire new persons, increase our size, needing funds, manage our operations in much better way. All these things are required. The second thing we are saying, if we don't think about growth, at least maintaining the way we are, then in that case, the question comes about credit risk and you can say foreign exchange risk and other risk also which they have mentioned. Credit risk is what, since we are in B2B, generally the chances of credit is there. The major is Norland Gas. That is a big customer to whom we are selling our boiler. But Norland Gas will pressurizing for the price or creating problem. If you don't supply, we will buy from your competitor. So what problem will arise? How we will face? They are making delay in making payment. Or maybe we can say that the builders, those who are building the houses, we are supplying to them the heat pumps. And those heat pumps, they are paying in money after 2 months, 3 months, but the builder condition is not good. They are not able to sell their houses and all that. They are not having money, so they are not able to pay our money. Or maybe the builder merchants also, those who are small players, but they are selling our heat pumps and boilers to the consumers and all that, to the, plumbers and anybody. If they will not pay, because our business is generally credit sale. So we can say that the credit worthiness, checking whether the customer should be given credit or not, the limit of credit we have, but that need to be more stringent, more accurate, much better. At the same time, we can't say that we don't offer them credit. We need to increase our quality of the product. We need to increase the reliability, safety. We need to increase the reliability, safety and other things so that we can dominate. We can create differentiation that it's different. Maggie ketchup, it's different. You go to others, you will not get this quality. So we will be able to, because it is written in the pre-scene that we are a differentiator. Our safety, our reliability, our quality of the product, our efficiency of our product, the usage of the energy, the safety, that is any accident or any chances, reliability, that we are giving warranty. We are the first one who are giving warranty of 10 years in heat pump. So if we will be able to create our differentiation, regular innovations, new improvement, coming new things which we have done in the past, because we are the first one who developed the boiler, we are the first one who developed the heat pumps in the country. If we maintain this activity, then in that case the problem from credit risk will also be less. One is the credit risk. You manage the credit risk by analyzing the credit worthiness, giving them the limited credit, one thing. But that will also adversely affect you. So other thing is that maintain your differentiation in the industry, which they have written that they are doing that, but that need to be there to sustain in the business. If we talk about their foreign exchange risk, for foreign exchange risk, general discussion is not possible. I will say always, every student, when you are dealing with any foreign exchange matter, slightly become technical. Technical means, I am in India, rupee, INR, feeling आता है, feeling लाने का जरूरत नहीं है, feeling is already there inside me. Now I am purchasing something from US, dollar. Suppose somebody is doing CPA US or CMA US and from India. Earlier $1 price around 6 months back only around 75 and now $1 price is 85. So if you are an importer, if you are purchasing anything from outside, your currency, your own domestic currency depreciate or foreign currency appreciate will be loss for you. We are, this hot air is purchasing steel, aluminium, then copper, then other component parts. What? Many things from outside. And if the country from which they are purchasing those things, that country's currency appreciate in comparison to our currency, like dollar appreciated in comparison to INR, then those who need to pay dollar, importer, will be affected. And if I am an exporter, I am getting dollar. Earlier I was getting dollar ke against me 75 INR. Now I am getting dollar ke against me 85 INR. Dancing. The exporter are dancing. So we are exporting our goods to many countries. Not far but in the region, maybe Europe. So we are, we say UK. So we are sending our goods, that is mainly heat pump, maybe boiler also, not that is not there. But then those are giving us in money, cash inflow we are getting in their currency. So if their currency value goes up and our currency depreciate, it is good for us. But then we are doing both. We are importing also, we are exporting also. We need to check where the burden is more, whether the import is more, whether the export is more. We need to check whether the import is in the same currency in which we are exporting or whether it is in a different currency. The chances are there, it is in a different currency. When they are in the different currency, then whether there is a positive correlation between those currencies or whether there is a negative correlation. Suppose dollar prices increases, but pound prices decreases. The UK courses becomes less costlier. Around some days back, I think around 1 month back, the pound prices was around 84, 85. And around 3-4 months back, the pound prices was 104 and 5. And presently it is hovering around 92, 93, 94. Still it is not 104. So I mean to say that if I am importing from UK and I am exporting to US, then to I should dance. I should not be doing any hedging. Because मेरे को तो payment कम करना है and I am getting more. But if I am importing from US and I am exporting to UK, then to there is a bonanza loss. There is a double problem on me. How I will be managing this foreign exchange risk? We have not been given and will not be given which country we belong to. N dollar, nor land, N dollar is the currency. The other country name which they will be using in the exam will not be any actual country. Factual name. Westland, Eastland, this land, Westland currency, W dollar, Eastland currency, E dollar, this land currency, L dollar, whatever. तो आपको डॉलर पाउंड का तो फीलिंग आएगा नहीं, बट आपको कैसे सोचना है? If you are getting foreign currency and the foreign currency is appreciating against your domestic currency, you should dance. And if you are paying foreign currency and the foreign currency is appreciating against your domestic currency, your loss. ये बात आपको दिमाग में बसा लेना है. When this one line explanation you understand, then you can understand any future option swap which is to be written in the exam. Nowhere it is written that. It is just written foreign exchange risk. Since we are importing, exporting both, so there is a foreign exchange risk because of appreciation, depreciation of home currency, domestic currency or इंटरनेशनल करेंसी, बट उसको तो समझा के लिखना होएगा ना. जस्ट नाउ आरती आज सर 4 क्वेश्चन होता है ना, वहां पर आपका आंसर छोटा होता है, यहां और बड़ा. यहां पर आपको और एक्सप्लेनेशन देना है और डिटेल में जाकर आंसर लिखना है, बिकॉज यहां पर कम्युनिकेशन स्किल और ज्यादा चाहिए. यू कांट से दैट somebody इज रीडिंग माई आंसर एंड ही इज नॉट अ फाइनेंस पर्सन और अकाउंटेंट, एंड बिकॉज ऑफ दैट पर्सन इज नॉट अंडरस्टैंडिंग. मैनेजमेंट और ऑपरेशनल लेवल में तो फिर भी चलेगा, यहां चलेगा ही नहीं. You need to write in such a way that every one person on this earth can understand what do you want to communicate. So, explaining about foreign exchange risk is understanding which currency appreciation, depreciation will affect your business adversely or positively. Then only you will be able to say na ki whether the currency risk to be managed, how, what method and all that, तभी वो बाद में आता है. I am not discussing for the timing any method. Internal hedging, external hedging, सब मैं बता दूंगा, आपको टेंशन नहीं लेना है. लेकिन that risk is there because we have import, export, both are there. And if we are in European zone and not a Brexit, not UK, and still we are in that field, then तो currency risk will be less. Then तो हम लोग का सभी यूरो में इंपोर्ट हो रहा है, यूरो में एक्सपोर्ट हो रहा है, वैसा भी तो हो सकता है. और मे बी इन अदर कंट्री, but we are making invoices for export and import in our own currency only, that is $10 only. Then in that case there is no risk, but that chances are less because they have written that currency risk is there and they have a treasury department based on the expectation of domestic rate against foreign exchange rate. They are taking their actions, they are managing their foreign exchange risk. That means the invoicing is not in the home currency, invoicing is in the different currencies. Then they have given in the back some newspaper articles. One article is Norland government decided that by 2040 zero carbon. For that they will be taking action, reducing the consumption, production, purchase of gas boiler and increasing the more environmentally friendly heat pumps or solar panel or whatever. So we need to be ready that we need to move in tandem with the government requirement. Then they have said that in the reference material that there are some questionnaire by different persons. Those questionnaire is just to give you the feel of the industry. That all materials are about the questions that I am worried about the environment have been asking my parents. I mean to say that somebody just discussing on social media with other and saying that my parents are changing from gas boiler to heat pump. Why they are not going to a better system of solar panel? Then it is suggested that in our country, in our place, sunlight is not there. Most of the time sky is cloudy. In the night there is no sunlight. So with the sunlight we will not be able to generate that much heat which will be sufficient for our survival. For that reason, at the same time, for installing the solar panel, there should be a proper structure of your house. There should be piping inside and all that. That is not possible to do now. So for that reason, it should not be done. It's a general understanding of the industry. Then they are saying my parent had a heat pump installed. This they are saying heat pump is there. They are replacing the heat pump. But at the time of replacement in the old heat pump, there is a refrigerant. Every heat pump there is a refrigerant. But that refrigerant need to be recycled, need to be thrown like anything because it will be leading to global warming. Why? Because that is very, I mean to say, even they have written that is even more bad than the gas boiler consumption. So it is of everywhere the government and those who are selling heat pump, they are taking an action that refrigerant should be reusable. After taking refrigerant from there, after doing some changes, the refrigerant has many other alternative uses. But then to take it from the machine, making it ready for another uses involve huge cost. And that cost the organizations like Hot Air or anything or nobody wants to bear. That they are asking to the consumers to bear. and his parents, his family has decided that because they have the wealth and they are ready to do that, but how many will be able to do that? So not that it is the responsibility of hardware to do something, to think about refrigerant reusal replacement. What do you think? कि कंज्यूमर को पैसा लगाना होगा कि हॉट एयर को सोचना चाहिए? आई थिंक दे शुड बी थिंकिंग. But the reuse of refrigerant cannot be possible in another hot pump, heat pump. It will be there in other area. So maybe they will be making this and selling to those organizations which should be viable, or they should start making something without of the refrigerant, so that the consumers don't need to do that and the company can be able to do that. But nowhere it is written. This is my understanding. Why that the consumer will be incurring? I am selling my computer, I am selling my camera. Many times you know that second hand mobile ke badle you will be getting some discount. Apple or Samsung launched that. You give old mobile, against new mobile you will be getting some money discount. So old mobile ka Samsung kya karega? Definitely the old mobile will be creating environment problems. So old mobile either will be destroyed, or maybe old mobile will be used to create something so that the global warming can be avoided. Why not we can do this? That I was thinking. Not written anywhere, but according to me, the hot air, when they are saying that they are ethical, they think about their consumers, they think about environment, they are safety, they are reliable, then they should be thinking about refrigerant reusage to avoid global warming. Then they have said that I said the refrigerant story. Then they have said that Norland government saying that by 2040 zero carbon. And for that government will be taking so many actions. Possibility of diversification. You want to say that reuse of refrigerant as a diversification. Yes, maybe a question will be there in exam. Just that the share price movements are given. Since March 2019 till now, continuously share prices has gone up only. If you take an average, moving average, it will be coming like this. But just after this, it started just recently going down. It started at around 2021 and then it moved to around 60-65 and now they have reached to around how much? Around 45 something. So recently the prices has gone down. Maybe that projection which was by the shareholders and all that was not fulfilled. That we will be able to understand by looking at their financials. Then we can see there are hot airs, beta is 1.12. What is beta? If I will say Reliance beta is 2.2, suppose. How we will calculate? In the last 1 year, 2 year, 5 years, whatever period you want to take. What is the average return from Reliance stock? Average return means every week, every month, every quarter, every day, whatever you want to take. Average return of Reliance in last 1 year, say weekly basis, 52 weeks, 1 week beginning to another week end. ऐसे करके you calculated 52 times Reliance average return. And then you calculated 52 week ka average. And we calculate BSE, Bombay Stock Exchange or National Stock Exchange average return in last 1 year weekly basis. Suppose Bombay Stock Exchange means BSE, Nifty. BSE was 50 to 60 or Nifty was from this to this, say whatever. So average return of Bombay Stock Exchange is say 15%. And average return in the Reliance stock is say 20%. Then we say beta of the Reliance is 20 divided by 15, that is 1.25 something. This is, they have given 1.12. The company's security is listed in the stock exchange. So average return of the security of the company is calculated, divided by average return of the market of the Sensex, and we are getting the beta 1.12, which means that what? When the market will go up by 1%, security will go up by 1.12%. And when the market will go down by 1%, security will go down by 1.12%. This we say as systematic risk. Beta is a systematic risk. There are two types of risk, systematic, unsystematic. Maybe market is going up or down, but there is a problem in a particular company, strike, lockouts, fire. Or maybe market is doing bad, but there is a good invention in a company, there must be some good thing in a company. Then it is not that if the market is going down, security will go down. Market is going up, security will go up, because the beta is 1.12. The market is going down, still the security may be up. The market is going up, still the security will go down. No, understand what I am saying. So I am saying that there is an unsystematic risk also, which is not incorporated in beta. Beta is only measuring systematic risk because of the market factors, maybe inflation, interest rate, government, foreign exchange rate, whatever. Because of the market factors, the effect on the securities return based on market. But it is not that exactly this will be the change, there is unsystematic risk also. We are saying that for a portfolio investor, that unsystematic risk is not relevant. Suppose I have invested in around 25-30 stock, not million. जितना पैसा मेरे पास है लगाने के लिए, I have invested in 25-30 stock. Never it happened when the share market tomorrow morning 9 o'clock open, तो मेरा 25-30 सभी शेयर का दाम बढ़ेगा, कभी नहीं होता है. या 25-30 सबका दाम बढ़ेगा, कभी नहीं. Maybe the market is down, but some of the shares are giving positive return. Maybe the market is up, but some of the shares are giving negative return. But when I have invested in 25-30 stock, so average में क्या होता है कि if there is suppose a news about Reliance, maybe कि Reliance में अंबानी ये कर रहा है, ऐसा कर रहा है, then in that case Reliance prices are up. So I am getting return on Reliance good. But दूसरा कोई स्टॉक में मेरे को रिटर्न कम मिल रहा है. So good news of Reliance is not giving me good return. Why? Because there are other stocks which are going down. And bad news in Reliance is not adversely affecting me so much. Because there are other stock, State Bank or any other stock, Hindustan, Unilever, किसी में भी मेरे को फायदा हो रहा है. तो internal problems or internal good thing of a company is not affecting me so much. When I am a rational investor, when I am a portfolio investor, when I am invested in bundle of securities. So we say that when we analyze the risk, we ignore the unsystematic risk because unsystematic risk is not relevant for a portfolio investor, for a rational investor. Rational investor will never invest their money in one stock. They will invest in bundle of stock. So internal good thing in one company, internal bad thing in one company is not going to affect them so much. So they don't think about that. We as a rational investor only consider this beta systematic risk. But this beta systematic risk is also divided into two parts. One is the industry risk and one is the financial risk. We are in the heating system industry, selling heat boiler and heat pumps. But in the industry, other players are there. Our competitor Thermex and other companies are there. We can say that in this industry, there is some risk. What is that risk? Suppose I am talking about training industry risk. मैंने अपने business में, in my business in training industry, Saraf Academy, suppose I have invested 5 crore in the business in the assets. So my liability are also 5 crore. Assets balance sheet, liability balance sheet equal. In the liability, there is equity and debt both. Maybe short term, long term, whatever. Similarly, in this industry, that is Hot Air, Thermex and others, other companies are there. All these companies have the assets. All these companies have the liability. Their assets need to be used, need to be utilized in such a way that they can satisfy the requirement of liability. They can satisfy the demand of equity. They can satisfy the demand of debt holders. So we are saying that if the assets of an industry, if the assets of a company are not being properly utilized, not giving proper return, then the liabilities, that is the shareholder, the debt provider, will remain dissatisfied. Why the assets in an industry will not be giving good return? Suppose the industry is not performing well. The demand for heat pump and all that are not there because of ecological factors, because of technological factors, because of something, anything. So it is not a problem only for hot air. It is a problem for every company in this industry, because the business of this industry is not good. The industry growth is not good. Any problem is there, or maybe very good. There is an industry risk. The liabilities, the liability providers, the fund providers risk depends upon the asset risk. Asset risk is equal to liability risk. If I am in the training industry, those who all are in the training industry, their business risk is my business risk. Same. They are dealing with customers, your type of customers, tuition fees, prices, whatever. हम लोग का business risk in an industry, the business is same. The asset risk is equal to liability risk. But in my business, I have taken more debt, and some other training industry has taken lower debt. More debt, more risk. For debt, I need to pay the interest. I need to pay the principal back. Commitment is there. Less debt, commitment is less. So in a company, industry risk is always there like others. But then financial risk will be different. This 1.12 beta is business risk and financial risk both. Business risk is the industry risk, asset liability risk, and the financial risk is how much debt I have taken in my business. Like in the pre-scene, hot air has taken 32% debt on the basis of book value, but their competitor has taken 18% debt. So their competitor has taken lower debt, and we have taken higher debt. Their competitor is also listed. We are also listed. So our beta will be high than our competitor. When you are saying so many high risk, high gain, that's the secondary thing. The first thing is that what is beta? What is systematic risk? So it is a combination of business risk and financial risk. Combining both the risk, for our company it is 1.12. If you calculate for our competitor, it will be less than 1.12. Why? Because in our competitor, the business risk is same, because we are in the same business. But the financial risk is lower because they have lesser debt burden. How can I calculate their beta? With the market. What is the change in the share price return of theirs divided by market return? When I will calculate, their beta will definitely be coming less than 1.12. Suppose we want to calculate beta for a non-listed company. How we will calculate? For the listed company, average return of the security, average return of the market. For the non-listed company, how? Average return kahan se nikalenge? So we take a listed company example, proxy company. Suppose I want to calculate beta for Saraf Academy. My company is not listed. Now Baiju may be listed, or any education company listed in India. मैं उनका बीटा निकालूंगा. मैं निकालूंगा कि उनका एवरेज रिटर्न इन लास्ट 1 year, 2 year divided by average market return, what is their beta? So their beta is business risk and financial risk. Now what I will do? From their total risk, I will delete financial risk. मैं उसको हटा दूंगा. There is a formula. By that formula, I will be able to delete their financial risk. So I am getting their business risk. Their business risk is my business risk. They are in the training industry. I am in the training industry. Now their business risk becomes my business risk. I will adjust my financial risk, my debt equity ratio. Then I will calculate my beta. For a non-listed company also, we can calculate beta. This calculation is called by CAPM model, by MM model, Modigliani and Miner model. CAPM Modigliani नाम याद नहीं रखना है, ये concept समझना है. What is beta? There are two types of risk: systematic, unsystematic. Systematic because of market, unsystematic because of internal. For a portfolio investor, for a rational investor, unsystematic risk not relevant. So beta is a measure of systematic risk. How it is calculated? Average return of security by average return of a market. What is components in the systematic risk? Business risk and financial risk. For every business, for every industry, there are so many companies in the industry. For all the companies, business is same. They are selling same customer, same business, same assets. Business risk is same. But their financial risk is different. because of the debt burden, debt equity ratio. So in hot air, debt is more, their financial risk is more, but in their competitor company, debt is less, their financial risk is less. So that company is also listed. When we calculate their beta, it will be coming less than 1.12. For a non-listed company, beta can be calculated by projection, by estimation, based on CAPM, based on MM model. इसका बीटा में से फाइनेंशियल रिस्क निकाल दीजिए. You will get their beta, which is because of business risk. That beta is our beta, but we will incorporate our financial risk. So we will get our beta. Why we require this discussion? We are taking over another company. And for another company, we want to value by taking present value of cash flows and all that. For that, we are using our beta. We are using our weighted average cost of capital to value that company. Is this justified? If it is in the same industry, yes. But if they have a different debt equity ratio, no. And if they are in a different industry, no. So maybe sometimes they give that we are taken over by others. We are taking over some another company. We want to use this. How can we value the company? तो आपको ये systematic, unsystematic risk थोड़ा technically explain करना पड़ता है. Because this is technical. आप इसको ऐसे लिखोगे कैसे? High beta, high risk. That we understand. If the beta is 1.5, 1.12 is greater than 1. Generally greater than 1, that means this company is more riskier than the market. But if we exclude their financial risk, then we will be able to calculate only business risk, how much in the industry. So when you calculate, it will be coming less than 1. So business risk is lower than the market risk. But when we incorporate financial risk, then in that case, the risk is more. Then in that case, it is becoming more riskier. Whether it is good or bad, we are not saying. Beta 5 also is not bad. It depends. If you are a person ready to take risk, you are risk aggressive person, you want to include in your portfolio that type of stock, so maybe you will be buying a stock having beta 5. When the market will go up, it will be increasing 5 times. And you are also thinking that market will go up. We always say that a portfolio investor will not invest in one stock. They will invest in bundle of stocks so that they will be able to manage their risk. So that is a short explanation about beta. Then just go through with the financials once, because with the figures, some calculation can be done. Even though I have shared some calculation, but I will share further calculation also, because that is not 360 degree. Further calculation, those calculation you don't need to show in exam. When you will be writing the answers, you need to remember that this is the ratio. You should be using that ratio without calculation, because examiner know that you are the finance manager of the company. Examiner know that you are having this material 45 days before exam. But ACCA स्टूडेंट को क्या करना पड़ेगा? अगर कोई रेशियो उनको यूज करना है तो निकालना तो पड़ेगा ना. फाइनेंशियल्स तो उनको भी देगा. तो मे बी समटाइम्स ACCA स्टूडेंट नीड टू गो इन एक्सेल और 5-7 रेशियो निकालना पड़ता है कभी कभी केस स्टडी में. और या आपको एक्सेल में नहीं जाना है, वेयर यू आर राइटिंग थ्योरी, वहीं पर डिवाइड मल्टीप्लाई करके निकाल के दिखा दीजिए. सेव योर टाइम. आई जनरली बिलीव इन दैट कि unless and until we don't require, we will not be going into Excel. In CIMA, there is no Excel requirement. In CIMA, Excel file is not there. Only Word file is there. If you are doing any calculation, you need to do on Word file. But as far as my understanding, exam में calculator का जरूरत ही नहीं पड़ता है. आरती, you gave both the exam. Calculator use किए थे क्या आप exam में? आरती, नीरव, नहीं यूज की, जानबूझ के मत बोलो, सच्ची में बोलो. नहीं तो जब ऑपरेशनल लेवल में ही नहीं आया तो स्ट्रेटेजिक लेवल में तो दूर दूर तक. सपोज यू आर गोइंग इन एग्जाम विदाउट कैलकुलेटर, नो प्रॉब्लम, बट एडवाइजेबल लेके जाइएगा. आई एम नॉट सेइंग you can go in the exam because there is no use of calculator. All these calculation you should be doing beforehand. You should remember, so that when you are writing the answers, wherever justified a write-up can be written by using the ratio percentage, आपको use करना चाहिए. Because if you will be using that, examiner like that. Examiner like two things. Whatever the scenario given in the pre-scene, the percentages, figures and all that, you should be using that in your write-up. And if you have some practical knowledge, suppose Shruti Mittal from UK, and maybe she is already having good sound knowledge about this type of thing, hot air, heating system and all that, तो उनको अपना practical knowledge exam में use करना है. That not that कि pre-scene में लिखा नहीं है. Pre-scene में कुछ नहीं लिखा है. It is just giving a background. Name of the company, industry, some challenges, some problems, some business model, some financial details, बस. And some corporate governance detail. और कुछ नहीं है. This is just an area where they are saying that you are in this industry, you are in this company, senior finance manager. This is the nature of the industry, the product features, and now there are problems, these are issues, opportunities and all that, how this can be done, how they can be capitalized, how the problem can be solved. आपको वो सोचना है एग्जाम में, जिसके अंदर टेक्निकल राइटअप बहुत कम है. थोड़ा बीटा वगैरह हो सकता है, थोड़ा फॉरेन एक्सचेंज हो सकता है, थोड़ा कहीं पर इंटरेस्ट रेट रिस्क हो सकता है, कभी कभी आता है. कुछ एरियाज है टेक्निकल, मैं डिस्कस करूंगा, वो मैं मंडे वेनेसडे क्लासेस में वैसे भी डिस्कस नहीं कर रहा. दैट आई विल डिस्कस इन दिस केस स्टडी क्लासेस ओनली. सो डोंट वरी, जब भी हम लोग कुछ करेंगे, इफ आई एम गिविंग अ क्वेश्चन यू आर नॉट एबल टू राइट, यू आर बाउंड टू राइट, I will discuss that in the class technicality. Maybe पहले ही, maybe बाद में, I will discuss everything. So just go through for 10-20 minutes about their financials. This is our financials. The company's revenue has gone up. The company's operating cost has also gone up. So obviously operating profit is greater than last year. They have not given gross profit, admin, selling separately. They have given one-time operation expenses. Then finance cost is same, maybe the debt is same, interest rate is same. Since the profit is more, the tax is more. Now, just can anybody calculate 756 minus 699, the whole thing divided by 699?